Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Sharyu Varma Chopra, and with me is Manoj Singh Rana with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Vietnam is an important pillar of India's Act East policy and vital partner of Indo-Pacific vision. COVID-19 national recovery rate improves to 95.53%. India suspends all flights originating from UK till 31st December amid global concerns over a new strain of coronavirus. Eighth installment of 6,000 crore rupees released to states to meet GST compensation shortfall. Leopard population increases by 60% in the country. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now, the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today held virtual summit with his Vietnamese counterpart, Nguyen Xuan Phuc. The two leaders reviewed an entire gamut of bilateral relations, discussions on regional and global issues of mutual interest. Post-pandemic economic revival was also on the agenda. In his opening remarks, Mr. Modi said Vietnam is an important pillar of India's Act East policy and vital partner of our Indo-Pacific vision. He said the relation between India and Vietnam is growing rapidly and spreading to new areas. The Prime Minister said India looks at the ties with Vietnam with long-term and strategic perspective. He said Indo-Vietnam cooperation can contribute to maintaining peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region.
हम वियतनाम के साथ अपने संबंधों को एक लॉन्ग टर्म और स्ट्रेटेजिक व्यू से देखते हैं। इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन में पीस, स्टेबिलिटी एंड प्रॉस्पेरिटी हमारे साझा उद्देश्य हैं। इस क्षेत्र में स्थिरता और शांति कायम रखने के लिए हमारी साझेदारी महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दे सकती है।
The Prime Minister said India and Vietnam have signed 7 new agreements on areas such as defense, scientific research, nuclear and renewable energy, petrochemicals and other diverse subjects like cancer treatment. The Prime Minister said next year both countries will be members of the UN Security Council and the cooperation in the global context will increase. He said both nations will implement a joint vision document 2021-23, which is a plan of action for bilateral engagement.
आज हम एक जॉइंट विजन डॉक्यूमेंट और 2021 से 23 तक के हमारे बायलैटरल एंगेजमेंट के लिए एक प्लान ऑफ एक्शन को जारी कर रहे हैं। इस जॉइंट विजन फॉर पीस, प्रॉस्पेरिटी एंड पीपल में विश्व को हमारे संबंधों की गहराई का एक मजबूत संदेश जाएगा। हमारी वार्ता के साथ साथ दोनों देशों के बीच 7 महत्वपूर्ण समझौते भी साइन हुए हैं। इनमें रक्षा, वैज्ञानिक रिसर्च, परमाणु ऊर्जा, पेट्रोकेमिकल्स, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी तथा कैंसर के इलाज जैसे विविध विषय शामिल हैं। हम अपने विकास सहयोग और सांस्कृतिक संरक्षण के क्षेत्र में भी नई पहल ले रहे हैं। ये सभी
Mr. Modi expressed condolences on the loss of lives and property in central Vietnam due to floods and landslides and expressed hope that the aid sent by India will be helpful.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said societies that are open-minded, democratic and transparent are better suited to innovate. Virtually addressing the 6th Indo-Japan Samvad Conference today, the Prime Minister envisioned that this decade and beyond will belong to those societies that place a premium on learning and innovating together. He said innovation is the cornerstone to human empowerment and true learning should promote innovation.
Societies that are open-minded, democratic and transparent are better suited to innovate. Therefore, now is the time, more than ever before, to change the paradigm on what we see as growth. Discussions on global growth cannot happen only between a few. The table must be bigger. The agenda must be broader. Growth patterns must follow a human-centric approach and be in harmony with our surroundings.
Highlighting the importance of this Samvad Forum to promote the ideas and ideals of Lord Buddha, Mr. Modi proposed the creation of a library related to traditional Buddhist literature and scriptures.
I would like to propose the creation of a library of all such traditional Buddhist literature and scriptures. We will be happy to create such a facility in India and will provide appropriate resources for it. The library will collect digital copies of all such Buddhist literature from different countries. It will aim to translate them and make them freely available to all monks and scholars of Buddhism.
The Prime Minister said the library will not only be a depository of literature, but it will also be a platform for research and dialogue between human beings, societies and man and nature. He added that its research mandate will also include examining how Buddha's message can guide our modern world against contemporary challenges like poverty, racism, extremism, gender discrimination, climate change and many others. He said that Buddhist teaching will lead the civilization to a better future.
Lord Buddha's teachings command the strength to turn the discourse from enmity to empowerment. His teachings make us large-hearted. They tell us, learn from the past and work towards a better future.
Stressing on the need of Samvad, the Prime Minister said it should spread spirit of positivity, unity and compassion across our planet.
This is the best service we can do for our future generations. Friends, the essence of Samvad remains togetherness. Let Samvad bring out the best in us together. This is the time to draw upon our ancient values and prepare for the times to come. We must keep humanism at the core of our policies. We must make harmonious coexistence with nature at the central pillar of our existence. Samvad, a dialogue with ourselves, with fellow human beings, and with nature can light our way on this path.
Prime Minister Modi thanked the government of Japan for their constant support to Samvad. Ahead of the conference, he tweeted that this forum has grown immensely over the years and it has contributed to discourses around furthering global peace, harmony and brotherhood. The Samvad conference revolves around the need to build the future of Asia on the positive influence of traditions of non-violence and democracy in Asia. The first conference, Samvad 1, was held at New Delhi and Bodh Gaya in 2015. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has further improved to 95.53% as more than 25,000 COVID patients have recovered during the last 24 hours. The Health Ministry said the total number of recoveries has gone up to over 96,06,000. The actual caseload currently comprises only 3.02% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is around 3,03,000. India has one of the lowest COVID-19 deaths per million population globally, which stands at 105. India has suspended all flights originating from the United Kingdom to the country till 31st December 2020 amid growing global concerns over a highly infectious new strain of the coronavirus. The Ministry of Civil Aviation said the suspension will start from tomorrow midnight. The ministry said, as a measure of abundant precaution, passengers arriving from the UK in all transit flights that have taken off or flights which are reaching India before 22nd December at 23:59 hours would be subject to mandatory RT-PCR tests on arrival at the concerned airports. Talking to reporters, Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said that the government has taken the decision after carefully considering all the facts and reports from the UK.
अभी तक जो हमारे पास जानकारी है दिस ओनली अप्लाइज टू केसेस इन यूनाइटेड किंगडम, और जो बाकी देश हैं यूरोप के जैसे बेल्जियम है, जर्मनी है, फ्रांस है, उन्होंने भी जो एयर ट्रैवल है यूके का वो अभी सस्पेंड कर दिया है। तो अपनी सुरक्षा के लिए और मेडिकल कारणों के लिए उनको अच्छा यही होगा कि अभी जहां है वहीं रहें, और जब हम इसको रिव्यू करेंगे 31 दिसंबर से पहले और ये फैसला करेंगे कि ये जो टेम्परेरी सस्पेंशन है इसको रिव्यू करना चाहिए, हटाना चाहिए नहीं, उसके बाद जब सर्विसेज रिज्यूम होंगी तो मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है उनको ट्रैवल की सुविधा दी जाएगी।
Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray today announced night curfew in all municipal corporation limits in the state between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. beginning tomorrow till January 5th, as a new variant of the COVID-19 virus has been found in Britain. The Chief Minister chaired a meeting today to review the implementation of the preventive measures to mitigate the spread of coronavirus. He also announced that passengers from the UK and West Asia will have to remain in compulsory institutional quarantine for 14 days after landing at airports in Maharashtra. They will also be subjected to a corona test, RT-PCR, again on the 5th or 7th day after quarantine. He directed the municipal commissioners across the state to arrange hotels and independent hospitals for quarantining such passengers. He also directed to set up a separate hospital for passengers from Europe if they have symptoms of the new virus. The Chief Minister said passengers from other countries will be checked and stamped with their hands and will be home quarantined. Mr. Thackeray said the state is on high alert and we have to be more vigilant for the next 15 days. The Chief Minister said that those travelling from Europe and West Asia should inform if they have flown within the country. In Nagaland, 16 people tested positive for COVID-19 today, taking the total number of infected people to 11,858 in the state. In a tweet, State Health Minister S. Pangnew Phom said that among these new cases, 9 are from Dimapur and 7 from Kohima. He also informed that 50 infected people have recovered, which include 38 from Kohima and 6 each from Dimapur and Tuensang. So far, the state has registered 11,194 recovered cases with a recovery rate of 94.40%. At present, there are 462 active corona cases in the state. Meghalaya registered 5 new COVID-19 cases and 72 recoveries today. The Directorate of Health Services informed that the total number of active cases in the state has reached 432. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases stands at 13,258. Out of them, 12,692 have recovered, 432 are under treatment, and 134 have died so far. There are 21 containment zones across Meghalaya till now, and the fatality rate is 1%. In Jammu and Kashmir, 232 people have tested positive for COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. Among these cases, 129 are from the Jammu division and 103 from the Kashmir Valley. The total number of positive cases in the Union Territory has reached 118,495. Out of them, 113,026 have recovered, while 3,625 are under treatment. So far, 1,844 deaths have taken place due to the pandemic in the Union Territory.
In our special series, Year Ender 2020, today we bring you a report on Swachh Bharat Mission. The Narendra Modi government has laid a lot of emphasis on making Clean India or Swachh Bharat a mass movement. Inaugurating the Rashtriya Swachhata Kendra in New Delhi on 8th of August this year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said that the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan has brought about a permanent change in social consciousness and behavior of people. He said that cleanliness drive has been a big support in the fight against coronavirus.
देश के बच्चे बच्चे में पर्सनल और सोशल हाइजीन को लेकर जो चेतना पैदा हुई, उसका बहुत बड़ा लाभ कोरोना के विरुद्ध लड़ाई में भी मिल रहा है। जब भारत की 60% आबादी खुले में शौच के लिए मजबूर थी, स्वच्छाग्रह ने कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई में हमें बहुत बड़ा सहारा दिया है।
Talking exclusively to AIR News, Secretary Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation, UP Singh said that Swachh Bharat Mission has played a significant role in disease control. He said it has also played an important role during the COVID period.
स्वच्छ भारत मिशन में करीब 10 करोड़ से ज्यादा टॉयलेट बनाए गए, उनका सदुपयोग भी सुनिश्चित किया गया और इससे सैनिटेशन को काफी बढ़ावा मिला है। और जैसा कि सब जानते हैं, चाहे कोविड महामारी हो या दूसरी तरह की बीमारियां हो, स्वच्छ जल की उपलब्धता और सैनिटेशन, इन दोनों ने अपनी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है।
Our correspondent reports that people's participation has made Swachh Bharat Mission the world's largest behavior change program.
The Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is the most significant cleanliness campaign by the government. It has transformed rural sanitation in the country and has changed the behavior of over 60 crore people from open defecation to using a toilet. The mission has focused on rural and urban areas separately and played a crucial role in ensuring sanitation in the country. India has received high praise from the international community for this and set a precedent for the rest of the world to follow. Since the launch of Swachh Bharat Mission in 2014, more than 10 crore 73 lakh individual toilets have been constructed across the country. Rural areas in all the states have declared themselves open defecation free (ODF) on 2nd October last year. 35 states and union territories have been declared open defecation free. More than 6 lakh villages have been declared ODF villages. The sanitation coverage in the rural areas of the country has increased to 100%, which was over 38% during the launch of the mission. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Swachh Bharat has become very crucial, reminding people of how crucial sanitation and hygiene are to prevent diseases. Hand washing has become an effective tool to prevent COVID-19 and other diseases. Due to the concerted efforts of the government, hand hygiene has now become a Jan Andolan in the post-COVID world. People have now become aware that if they have to keep diseases at bay, they must ensure proper hygiene. Swachh Bharat Mission is now in its second phase, aiming to take India's villages from open defecation-free ODF to ODF+, with a strong focus on sustaining ODF status and ensuring solid and liquid waste management for all. With Dipendra Kumar, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Vietnam is an important pillar of India's Act East policy and vital partner of Indo-Pacific vision. COVID-19 national recovery rate improves to 95.53%. India suspends all flights originating from UK till 31st December amid global concerns over a new strain of coronavirus. Eighth installment of 6,000 crore rupees released to states to meet GST compensation shortfall. And leopard population increases by 60% in the country. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
The Finance Ministry has released the 8th weekly installment of 6,000 crore rupees to the states to meet the GST compensation shortfall. Out of this, an amount of 5,516 crore rupees has been released to 23 states and 483 crore rupees has been released to the 3 union territories with legislative assemblies, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir and Puducherry, who are members of the GST Council. The remaining 5 states, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland and Sikkim, do not have a gap in revenue on account of GST implementation. The Government of India had set up a special borrowing window in October this year to meet the estimated shortfall of 1.10 lakh crore rupees in revenue arising on account of implementation of GST. The borrowings are being done through this window by the Government of India on behalf of the states and UTs. The borrowings have been done in 7 rounds. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has said the government is doing its best to bring about emerging technologies in agriculture by upgrading the National E-Governance Project for Agriculture, NEGPA. In a tweet, Mr. Javadekar said, the welfare of farmers and the agriculture industry is at the core of all these initiatives by the centre. The government has asked farmers to choose a date for the next round of talks. In a letter to farmers' unions, Joint Secretary and the Agriculture Minister, Vivek Agarwal, urged them for a dialogue to resolve the issue. He said the centre is making all efforts to find an appropriate solution to resolve the issues raised by farmers with an open mind. Mr. Agarwal said the government intends to convene the next meeting at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi for resolving the issues. He also mentioned that the government held meetings with several other farmers' organizations and sought their suggestions on the matter.
Union Science and Technology Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has stressed that science must become a public movement in the country through promotion of achievements in various fields by Indian scientists. Addressing the Curtain Raiser Media Conference on the India International Science Festival 2020 in New Delhi today, the minister said that this will provide a platform for the dissemination of information related to science and technology. He said this will also trigger interest in the younger generations towards science. Highlighting the importance of science in tackling various challenges, Dr. Harshvardhan said scientists rose up to the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. He termed the year 2020 as a science year for making beneficial steps for the humankind. Appreciating the role of Prime Minister Modi for supporting the scientists and building an ecosystem for development of the science and technology sector in the country, he said Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan has played a remarkable role in making India self-reliant in the health sector.
हम कैसे आत्मनिर्भर विषम परिस्थितियों के बावजूद भी हो सकते हैं, उसका उदाहरण शायद कोविड की जो जंग है उससे बड़ा कोई उदाहरण नहीं है। कैसे वैज्ञानिकों ने, चाहे वो पीपीई किट्स हो, चाहे वो वेंटिलेटर्स हो, चाहे वो N95 मास्क हो, चाहे वो नई नई दवाओं की डिस्कवरी हो, रीपर्पसिंग हो, चाहे वायरस का आइसोलेशन हो, चाहे वायरस की जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग हो, और चाहे एक थोड़े समय में वैक्सीन का डेवलपमेंट हो, इतने प्रकार के आयामों पर हमारे वैज्ञानिकों ने काम किया है। इसी नाते प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो वो कॉन्फिडेंस दिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत का, उसके कारण ये सब कुछ संभव हुआ।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver the inaugural address at the India International Science Festival IISF 2020 tomorrow through video conferencing. Union Minister for Science and Technology and Earth Sciences Dr. Harshvardhan will also be present on the occasion. To promote scientific temper in society, the Minister of Science and Technology and the Ministry of Earth Sciences, in association with Vigyan Bharati, conceptualized the India International Science Festival. Launched in 2015, the IISF is a celebration to promote science and technology. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be the chief guest at the virtual centenary celebrations of the Aligarh Muslim University in Uttar Pradesh tomorrow. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
This is for the first time in over 5 decades that any Prime Minister of India will attend function at Aligarh Muslim University. Earlier to this, Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri attended an event at AMU in 1964. The preparations are in full swing and people are seen very much enthused and happy to see Prime Minister at the campus. The participation of Prime Minister in AMU will open new era there. AMU Vice Chancellor Tariq Mansoor said that AMU community is thankful to Shri Modi ji for accepting the invitation to participate in the celebrations marking 100 years of the university. According to university officials, Prime Minister Shri Modi will release a special postal stamp to mark the occasion. Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhariyal Nishank will also join the event via video conferencing. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
Veteran Congress leader Motilal Vora passed away at a private hospital in New Delhi today. He was 93. Mr. Vora was detected with COVID-19 in October, recovered, and was subsequently discharged. 2 days back, he was admitted to the hospital with a urinary infection. Motilal Vora was elected to the Madhya Pradesh Assembly 6 times and served twice as Chief Minister of the state. He was member of the Rajya Sabha 4 times and the Lok Sabha for 1 term. He also served as Governor of Uttar Pradesh and Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare and Civil Aviation. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have expressed grief on the demise of veteran Congress leader Motilal Vora. In a tweet, Mr. Kovind said he was humility personified and belonged to a generation of leaders who carry their politics with unflinching conviction till the end. He expressed condolences to his family and friends. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Motilal Vora ji was among the senior-most Congress leaders who had vast administrative and organizational experience in a political career that spanned decades. He expressed condolences to his family and well-wishers. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi said Motilal Vora was a true congressman and the party will miss him very much. He expressed condolences to his family and friends. The Chhattisgarh government has declared a 3-day state mourning on the demise of veteran Congress leader and ex-Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Motilal Vora. From December 21st to 23rd, the national flag will fly half-mast on government buildings and no entertainment or cultural programs will be organized during the mourning period. The state government has also decided that the last rites of Vora would be performed with state honors.
In Karnataka, the first phase of election to the 3,019 Gram Panchayats in 117 taluks will be held tomorrow. There are 1,17,383 candidates in fray for 48,048 seats. The voting will begin at 7 a.m. and conclude at 5 p.m. A high-level delegation of the Election Commission led by Secretary General Umesh Sinha will visit Puducherry tomorrow to assess the preparedness for the upcoming assembly elections in the Union Territory. On Wednesday, the team will hold talks with recognized political parties. The team will also hold discussion with the nodal officers of police and income tax and excise officials. It may be noted that the assembly election is due in 2021 in Puducherry, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and West Bengal. In Jammu and Kashmir, all the arrangements are in place for the counting of votes in all the 280 District Development Council DDC constituencies. State Election Commissioner K.K. Sharma said the counting will begin tomorrow at 9 a.m. simultaneously in all the districts. Meanwhile, the fate of 2,181 candidates for the 280 district development seats in Jammu and Kashmir and Union Territory will be decided tomorrow.
Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar today released the Status of Leopard in India 2018 report. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Javadekar announced that India now has 12,852 leopards. He said more than a 60% increase has been recorded in the leopard population over the previous estimate, which was conducted in 2014.
2014 में 8,000 तेंदुआ थे, अब 12,000 बन गए। शेरों की संख्या में भी इजाफा, बाघों की संख्या में भी इजाफा और तेंदुओं की संख्या में भी इजाफा। ये दर्शाता है कि हम इकोलॉजी का, पर्यावरण का और उसके साथ साथ जीव विविधता का अच्छा ख्याल रख रहे हैं। हमारी जंगल व्यवस्था ठीक है और इसलिए ये प्राणी इतनी बड़ी तादाद में बढ़ रहे हैं।
And now, let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital will experience a cold day with temperatures varying between 5 and 23 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky and the temperature will vary between 20 and 32 degrees Celsius. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy skies and the temperature will vary between 23 and 29 degrees Celsius. Kolkata is likely to have a mainly clear sky. The maximum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius and the minimum 13. Srinagar will have a generally clear sky. The temperature will hover between -6 and 9 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the sky will be partly cloudy with temperatures varying between -2 degrees Celsius and 8 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Vietnam is an important pillar of India's Act East policy and vital partner of Indo-Pacific vision. COVID-19 national recovery rate improves to 95.53%. India suspends all flights originating from UK till 31st December amid global concerns over a new strain of coronavirus. eighth installment of 6,000 crore rupees released to states to meet GST compensation shortfall. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website.